This Delta faucet is of the old ball valve design. It requires considerable maintenance in keeping it lubricated for ease of operation. I'm going to get rid of that and put in a new faucet that has a cartridge in it and is easier to use and doesn't require that constant lubrication or constant maintenance of lubrication. So now we're going to take the trap out of here so we can get to the back of the sink and remove that faucet. I'm working pretty slow. I guess I'm going to have to speed things up or we'll never get done. You notice my black can there that's collecting the water? That's an old paint can. It's the handiest thing I ever made. I cut the top out of a paint can and scallop the side so I can have easy access to it and get it under things to catch drips. I use it all the time. Now let's disconnect the lines. I have a little complaint to make here. It seems like that these fittings, water fittings that are chrome plated, they always start with a nominal size hex to machine the nut out of. Then once they plate it, it's oversized and you can't get the wrench on it. That must explain why plumbers are always using pliers instead of wrenches. That way they can scar the nuts all up so nobody can get in, make them work. Now I'm working on taking the tailstock out of the sink. The flange in the top of the sink screws into the bottom piece, and so I'm having a little difficulty getting it to unthread. I think I got it now. So now we're going to take a look at the back in there and see what it takes to get the faucet off. I'll show you a view with the camera here. We'll do a few missed focuses here until we get it right. Concentrate, here it comes. There, it's cleared. Do you see that? Once I get it loose here, we'll pull it out. It's too bad that this sink has a 3-hole mount, because with a new faucet all I need is a single hole. But I'll have to use the flange provided with the faucet to cover all the 3 holes. Someday when I get a new sink, maybe I'll swap it over to a single hole. One thing nice about the new faucets is the supply tubes are plenty long enough. They'll reach any on-off device. And so you just cut off the excess and connect them without having to go to the hardware and buy a bunch of unions and adapter fittings and some more tube to connect to the valve. Makes it a lot cleaner installation. Yeah, doesn't that look clean? That tube goes right up to the faucet. No joints. Get the trap back together, and it will be done under the counter. Now we're putting the linkage in for the stopper, the drain stopper. Now we're taking the strainer out of the faucet so we can run some water through it and flush out any debris that we may have loosened up in making and breaking our connections. And I'm catching the water because I used a sealer in the tailpiece flange in the sink. It takes a while to set, and I don't want to wash that sealer out before it gets hard. And I'll not be able to use the faucet for a while until that sealer does finally set up. And I like this key for removing the strainer with a clip on it that hooks onto the water line.